You are Locked On Giants Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Bay Area, on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Yo, what's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Locked On Giants Postcast. I am your host, Eric Triple E Engel. You may know me as the former producer for the Murph and Mac Morning Show on KNBR, and today, the home opener out at Oracle Park. The Giants got it done in a wild one. Thairo Estrada breaks out of his slump with a walk-off double. The Jordan Hicks experiment continues to be a raging success as he was absolutely stellar out on the bump again. And the Giants just needed a win in the worst way, and they got one. On the best day of the baseball season, the home opener amidst all the fanfare and spectacle. Wow, what an ending to this one. We'll get into all of it, but first, I want to thank each and every one of you for watching us on the Locked On Sports Bay Area YouTube channel. Tons of you have subscribed since the start of Giants season. Please, if you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Also, if you're getting us on the Locked On Giants podcast feed, thanks for listening there. However you're tuning into the show, we appreciate it. And make sure to check out the Locked On Giants Daily Show for more in-depth coverage. Ben Kaspick does a great job. We're going to try and wrangle Ben to see if we can get him after the Blake Snell appearance on Monday. We'll see if we can get Ben to hop on the Locked On Giants postcast with us. And of course, this episode is brought to you by PrizePicks, the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Go to prizepicks.com/LockedOnMLB and use code all lowercase LockedOnMLB for a first deposit match up to $100. In this one, Bogarts led off with a double. Cronenworth drove him in up in that top of that first inning. Hicks left a couple pitches hanging in the zone there with 2 strikes. Both of those hits came with 2 strikes. Padres jumped out to an early 1-0 lead, but right away you see the Giants come back. And Jung-Hoo Lee might be the smoothest running person I've ever seen. Like baseball player, track guy, football player, name a sport. Jung-Hoo Lee looks so silky smooth out there in a full sprint. And this was on full display when Michael Conforto stayed hot and roped a double down the line that scored Lee from first base. And this was in the bottom of the first. And all I could think about while he was running around the bases was that he was just gliding across the base paths. Like there, people say that certain guys run like they're mad. Like people say Pacheco from the Chiefs runs like he's mad at the ground. I think Jung-Hoo Lee runs like he doesn't want to hurt the grass. He's like skating as he's out there. I mean, so smooth, so fast. And Sarah Langs, we love Sarah Langs on this podcast. She tweeted out that Jung-Hoo Lee went from first to home in 10.45 seconds. The Giants only had 3 faster tracked first to home times in all of last season. Again, that's via Sarah Langs on Twitter. Go ahead and follow her if you're not following her already. For my money, the best statistician in all of baseball. But 10 and a half seconds from first to home is incredible. I mean, this guy's in scoring position when he draws a walk. Like, that is huge. That is such a plus to have at the top of your lineup, something the Giants have not had in a very, very, very long time. Speed has been lacking and still kind of is. The Giants are the only team in professional baseball without a steal this season. Still, that's concerning, I guess, a little bit. But you don't need steals to utilize your speed on the base paths. And this was evident today on display in the first inning. And so that tied it at 1 apiece. The Padres jumped back ahead in the third inning after Hicks gave up an unearned run. He got a sharp comebacker, made a great play on it on the mound, and it was perfect time for a double play. But instead, he tosses that ball into center field. He kind of fielded the ball so quickly, he had to wait a second for his defense to get set up and in position, throws the ball behind Nick Ahmed into center field. And it put runners in scoring position, base runners at the corners with 1 out. And Fernando Tatis squeaked a grounder between Chapman and Ahmed, and a run scored 2-1 Padres at that point. And after that, Hicks settled in, man. He was dealing on the hill. We'll get into a deeper breakdown of his game and so far his season performance later on in the show. He has been electric. I mean, everything you could have ever hoped for and then some so far from Jordan Hicks. He's his stuff, man, just blows me away every time I see him out there on the hill. The speed, the break on all of his pitches, the difference in his fastballs. I mean, he's got a lot to work with up there in his arsenal, and we'll break that down a little bit more later on in the show. Michael Conforto, another guy we got to mention, doubled off that center field wall in the bottom of the 4th inning, and then we saw a base running blunder. Conforto tried to take home on a pass ball. He was at second base, rounded third, little too aggressively. What he saw was Dylan Cease was not coming off the mound to cover home on that pass ball. He thought he was maybe going to beat Campusano to the plate, and it almost looked like Campusano was about to throw the ball back to the mound without even taking a peek at where Conforto was, and he was more than halfway down the line from third base to home. And if that ball left Campusano's hands, I think Conforto scores on that play easily. So aggressive base running, a little too aggressive, over aggressive, and he gets caught in no man's land. And we've been saying that a little bit about the Giants so far. Remember the Soler incident at second base in Dodger Stadium? He got caught in between there as well. So the Giants being very aggressive on the base paths. Obviously, Jung-Hoo Lee scoring from first base on that Conforto double earlier in this one. But you got to be smart. I love the aggression, love the change in mindset, but you got to be a little bit smarter out there on the base paths. And then, you watch how the rest of that inning unfolds. 2 ground balls that for sure would have scored Conforto, and that would have tied the game there. And I was kind of thinking this is going to be the moment that we're keying in on in the post game as something the Giants got to fix and turn around. But as this one played out, Lamont Wade Jr. gets on base in bottom 6th, and Conforto again right in the mix every single time. It seems like every game so far in this young season, barely missed a home run, just clanked it off the top of the right field wall, and it hit off the right field wall, off those bricks so hard that Tatis fielded it so quickly, and he's got such a good arm that Conforto was only able to get a single on the play, and Lamont Wade Jr. went from first to third. And then Matt Chapman slow roller down the third base line scores Lamont Wade Jr. to tie 2-2 in bottom 6th. And then Hicks kept dealing out there. He lasted a new career high 7 innings out there on the hill, 2 runs, 1 earned, and 5 strikeouts. Great outing for Hicks in this one. And then you saw Rogers come in, and one of the funniest strikeouts of my entire life that I've ever seen. That that rising slider that he throws, he threw it to a left-handed batter, and that poor Padre batter swung and missed, and the ball hit him square in the face. And that's got to be just the most. I've played all levels of baseball, up until I didn't play college or anything like that, but I played baseball since I was 5 years old, and never once have I struck out when a ball hit me in the face, or have I seen someone strike out with a ball hitting them in the face. So for that to happen at the big league level is just insane. I mean, absolutely nuts. The amount of movement on that rising slider is just incredible. And that was a pretty funny moment, man. All the memes I've seen already going around with the ball hitting that Padre square in the forehead with his helmet flying off and everything. It's a bad look, man. It's a bad look. That's got to be Rogers' favorite strikeout of his career. That was a pretty funny one. And then gets out of that 8th inning, no harm done. 9th inning got a little sketchy there. Camilo Doval has not been super great so far this season. In his one prior outing, he was shaky, had issues with the pitch clock, gave up a home run, couple runs scored in that one, and he couldn't get out of the inning in his first appearance tonight. Looked like it was going to unfold the same way after a Jake Cronenworth single and a pass ball allowed him to move to second with Manny Machado at the plate. I was kind of holding my breath. I was saying, oh no, I hope Camilo goes all Brian Wilson on us and figures this out after putting the winning run on base in scoring position. And guess what? He went full Brian Wilson mode after he already had 1 out in the inning with Cronenworth at second, and he just finishes off, bounces back with 2 consecutive strikeouts back to back. Hassan Kim and Jerks and Profar grab some pine meat, and then 9th inning, you already know. Matt Chapman gets plunked in a really weird pitching decision by the Padres to leave their same reliever out there from the 8th to the 9th. Matt Chapman gets plunked, and Thairo Estrada breaks out of the slump, walk-off double. He was 0-for in the Dodgers series. He was 0-for tonight until he ran into that one, and he blasted that ball. That was the hardest hit of Thairo Estrada's season so far, and Chapman hustling all the way, got a great jump from first base, and again, scores from first base. There's two different runners in this one score from first to home in this one. That's great base running for the Giants. You want to see base running improve a little bit from in these in-between moments. Like you can't be getting thrown out between third and home on a base running error. That's inexcusable. Luckily, Michael Conforto more than made up for it today with two doubles and a single. Stays red hot for the Giants. He came up there in the ninth inning and had a chance to do some damage in this one as well, but popped out, barely missed one. A pitch right before the one that he popped out on was right down the middle, and I thought he was just gonna lace that one up and send it over the right field wall. Instead, he was taking all the way in a 2-0 count, and I bet you he wishes he had that one back. Even though this one turned out pretty nice, I bet you Conforto still wishes he had put a nice swing on that prior pitch to the one that he actually did swing at. So again, Giants with a huge win in this one, 3-2 over the San Diego Padres. Excellent work all around. Conforto stays hot. Estrada busts out of the slump. Jung-Hoo Lee is gliding around the base path, skating, find a word for me. I mean, whatever you want to use. Like, he is so fun to watch, man. This is probably my favorite Giant so far. This team is probably my favorite Giants team since 2016. I'm so excited about this group of guys out here at Third and King. This team is fun, man. This team is so fun. And I know they're only 3-5 on the season. They got some work to do, but they have so many things working for them, so many good signs. It can't be understated how good those damn Dodgers are and how close the Giants were in two of those three games. They were right there neck and neck with probably the best team in baseball. This is not a fluke. These Giants are going to be tough all season long. And National League West is going to be a tough division too. The Padres are going to be better this season than they were last season. And of course, the Dodgers are unfortunately the Dodgers and probably the favorite to win the National League West. And yeah, that's not my favorite thing in the world. But the Giants today, big win, home opener amidst all the festivities. We got to get into some of those festivities on the other side. And a little bit later, Jordan Hicks breakdown, because he's been absolutely electric on the mound this season so far. Stick with us on the Locked On Giants postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel. We will be right back. Eat stress-free this spring with Factor's delicious, ready-to-eat meals. Every fresh, non-frozen meal is chef-crafted, dietarian-approved, and ready to eat in just 2 minutes. Choose from a variety weekly menu of 35 options, including popular selections like Calorie Smart, Keto, Protein Plus, or Vegan and Veggie. Also discover more than 60 add-ons every week, like breakfast, on-the-go lunch, snacks, and beverages to help you stay fueled and feel good all day long. What are you waiting for? Get started today and fuel up for your springtime goals. No fuss, no mess meals. Factor meals eliminate the hassle of prepping, cooking, or cleaning up. I hate dishes, man. My sink's always piled with dishes. None of that with Factor. Simply heat and savor all that good stuff. Tailored to your schedule, customize your weekly meals with the flexibility to get as much or as little as you need. Pause or reschedule your deliveries to suit your lifestyle. Factor is your solution for fast, premium meals without the need for cooking. Head to factormeals.com/LockedOnMLB50 and use code LockedOnMLB50, that's 50, to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next box. That's code LockedOnMLB50 at factormeals.com/LockedOnMLB50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next box while your subscription is active. And today's episode is brought to you by PrizePicks. PrizePicks is America's #1 fantasy sports app with over 3 million members. PrizePicks is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. It's just you against the numbers. You pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. Spring training is over and baseball season is officially underway. Don't miss your chance to add your favorite players from the diamond in your PrizePicks entries. Whether it's strikeouts, RBIs, or first inning runs, Take your pick of more or less and add them to your PrizePicks entry today. PrizePicks has something for every sports fan, from baseball and basketball to even League of Legends and everything in between. You can pick LeBron, Shohei Ohtani, and Connor McDavid and Jude Bellingham all in the same entry. Today on PrizePicks, you know I had to get in on that Giants home opener action. I took more than 4.5 strikeouts for Jordan Hicks, and unfortunately less than 6.5 strikeouts for Dylan Cease, and he got 7. So Hicks gets 5 strikeouts, Cease gets 7, and I bust. But that's okay. You know, I was right there, and you know, you gotta miss sometimes. You can't hit on every single one, but we've been hitting on a lot lately at PrizePicks. And of course, you need to download the app today and use code LOCKEDONMLB for a first deposit match up to $100. Again, download the PrizePicks app today and use code LOCKEDONMLB for a first deposit match up to $100. It's PrizePicks. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. Welcome back to the Locked On Giants postcast. I am your host, Eric Triple E Engel, and man, the home opener has got me in my feels. Every single thing about it. I mean, all the pomp and circumstance surrounding every corner, you know, like the Giants pulled out all the stops today. I mean, you had Fred Warner and Deebo Samuel throwing out the first pitch, Mitch Wishnowsky with the first punt. What in the hell was that? I mean, I love it. Seeing the guy punt a football over the wall into McCovey Cove. That's cross that off of the list. I thought of things I thought I'd never see at Oracle Park. That was pretty cool, man. It was a little weird at first, but I'm all in. I love me some sports crossovers. And who doesn't love sports crossovers? You're subscribed to Locked On Sports Bay Area YouTube channel. We do all of the Bay Area sports, baseball, football, basketball. So we love a good sports crossover here on the Locked On Giants postcast. And a just beautiful baseball day. You know, the sun's out, there's some clouds and a little bit of wind, but what's baseball in San Francisco if it's not a little bit windy, you know? And everyone just has so many good memories. I know I do of going back to the yard and of that home opener. This is the first home opener I've missed in the last couple of years. And man, I am jonesing to get back out to that yard. Just the smells, the sights, the crack of the bat, like the sounds, everything, the Coke bottle, the glove, the iconic view from up in View Reserve, looking out at the bay, the crab sandwiches, man, all the new food out at the stadium, those like waffle glove sundaes look pretty cool, man. Those look really good. It's like a little waffle glove with like some chocolate inside of it in a sundae. I mean, all these different things are so great, and so many unique things about Oracle Park. You know, Steve Hogan on the organ, and it brings, like, could make me cry out of happiness just talking about it, man. Like, I love opening day on baseball, and the one thing missing, man, I'm not trying to be a downer, but Rennell, it's not the same without her. It's not the same without Rennell in the booth up there. And I'm not trying to hate on CJ Silas, who is the new PA announcer for the Giants. She's actually, I know CJ. CJ was the PA announcer for Cal Poly for the baseball and football programs and basketball programs down there. And that's where I went to college. I sat in many press boxes with CJ Silas. She's a really nice lady, but she's not Rennell, man. And that's not to take away from CJ, but she is not Rennell. And that's a bummer. That's a bummer. I noticed that. That was the first glimmer of the park. I was hoping, you know, I was like, oh, here we go. And then as soon as I heard not Rennell's voice, it kind of made me a little sad, man. So we'll get through that as a fan base together. It is a bummer, but it seems like this is what's going to happen going forward. So wish the best to Rennell in her future endeavors, and I'm sure all Giants fans do too. But the rest of this opening day spectacle, the Montel Jordan came out to sing the Star Spangled Banner. I mean, talk about particles, man. Particles just vibing all over the place. And then cap it off, Jake Peavy and Tim Flannery come out as your play ball guys for the day. I mean, it just didn't stop. The player intros were pretty fun too. Like, that was kind of weird that they had that, you know, gimmicky little stage that they all walked out into, but all teams do some kind of little gimmicky thing. Like, I saw the Cubs had these like really bad looking like little sparklers that were, you know, just to enhance photos for guys coming out of the dugout for opening day. So every team kind of does a gimmicky thing. I didn't hate it. It wasn't terrible. It was definitely a lot better than some of the other things I saw around the league. And what a fun tribute to Bob Melvin in the intro in this one. I mean, what a special homecoming for him. And he probably got the biggest ovation of anybody in the next biggest ovation, like in the starting lineup, parade. The next biggest one was for Jung-Hoo Lee. And I am not surprised. This guy is the best signing in the last 30 years that the Giants have made. And I'm not really exaggerating here. Like, I'm not at all. I truly believe, after seeing a week of Giants baseball so far in 2024, Jung-Hoo Lee, unless he has some catastrophic injury, is going to go down as the best free agent to come to the Giants in the last 30 years. I mean, Barry Zito was one of them too. He had that big contract, but he never really, I'm not going to say he didn't live up to the contract, but I think fans wanted more out of him. Obviously, that World Series speaks for itself. I was there in 2012 in Game 1 in that Barry Zito game. And I mean, he as far as I'm concerned, he earned that contract in that series. But for my money, Jung-Hoo Lee is going to be the best free agent the Giants have signed since Barry freaking Bonds in the last 30 years. Unreal. Like, just, I can't believe how awesome that this guy has turned into, how great he is on the field for the Giants. I mean, this is a home run of a signing. I even get flustered thinking about it because of how excited I am whenever I see Jung-Hoo out there on the base paths for the Giants. It's just electric, man. Like, the way he plays center field, he got on base again in this one. He's only failed to reach base in one game so far this season. If that guy's at the top of your lineup and he runs like he does, you are going to have a lot of opportunities to score. This Giants offense, it looks like it's this success isn't a fluke. I think that this is going to be something that we're going to consistently see all season long. And one more thing I got to mention about this home opener. We've been seeing Kruk and Kuip on the split cast so far this season, where Kruko is in San Francisco and Kuiper is out on the road with the team. And Kruko battling those health issues, you hate to see it. So, and Kuiper has had his health scares too, and neither of these guys are getting any younger. And I just want to emphasize to you guys to absolutely cherish each and every moment with these two on the broadcast, because they are the best in baseball, the best tandem to ever call games together in Major League Baseball. And who knows how much longer these two are going to do it together. So just shout out to Kruk and Kuip always. Those are two of the all-time best dudes. I know both of them not super well. Kruko I know a little bit better than Kuip because Kruko's a Cal Poly guy. Of course he knows Cal Poly guys. He's a great alumni. He's a great Giant. One of my all-time favorite people. So shout out Kruk and Kuip. And it was so fun to see them in the same room, not on the split cast, but man, you just love it. You love the particles emanating. And shout out John Miller, 50 years in the broadcast booth. Feel like we got to touch on all of these things today since it is the home opener. And what a great day for the Giants. A walk-off win. Thairo Estrada absolutely belted that walk-off double off the wall. I mean, to bust out of the slump, that was excellent. And so fun in all of these Giants intros to see all these guys coming back, like Pat the Bat Burrell back in a Giants uni on the field. You got, Bob Melvin, obviously, and you got Matt Williams out there too, back in a Giants uni. It was so good. So good. What a day for baseball in the Bay Area. Wow. One more note. Robbie Ray looks freaking jacked, man. And I don't think he's complaining about those tight pants at all. He seemed to be happy to show off, if you know what I'm saying. So stick with us on the other side. We got to take a quick break here, but I want to get into Jordan Hicks, man, because he has been electric. I've said this like 5 times on the podcast so far. Jordan Hicks, absolutely dominant on the hill, looking like another home run signing for the Giants in this offseason. I mean, one of the best off seasons in Giants history, as far as I'm concerned. Stick with us on the Locked On Giants postcast. Jordan Hicks breakdown next. I'm Eric Triple E Engel. We will be right back. Did you know that even if you have a 401k for retirement, you can still have an IRA? Robinhood has the only IRA that gives you a 3% boost on every dollar you contribute when you subscribe to Robinhood Gold. But get this, now through April 30th, Robinhood is even boosting every single dollar you transfer in from other retirement accounts with a 3% match. That's right, no cap on that 3% match. Robinhood Gold gets you the most for your retirement thanks to their IRA with a 3% match. This offer is good through April 30th. Get started at robinhood.com/boost. Subscription fees apply, and now for some legal info. Claim as of Q1 2024, validated by Radius Global Market Research. Investing involves risk, including loss. Limitations apply to IRAs and 401ks. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold for 1 year from the date of first 3% match. Must keep Robinhood Gold IRA for 5 years. The 3% matching on transfers is subject to specific terms and conditions. Robinhood IRA available to U.S. customers in good standing. Robinhood Financial LLC member SIPC is a registered broker-dealer. Welcome back to the Locked On Giants postcast. I am your host, Eric Triple E Engel, and today the Giants home opener walk-off. I have nothing better. You love to see it. 3-2 over the Padres at Oracle Park on a lightly blustery, partially sunny day with some white puffy clouds off in the distance. What a day for baseball in San Francisco, man. And you know who was happy to show up was Jordan Hicks on the mound. Again, this guy has been dominant in his 2 starts so far this year. He now owns an ERA sub 1, 0.75 ERA in 12 innings pitched. He's got 11 strikeouts, a whip of the same as his ERA, 0.75. This guy is dealing. He set a career high in innings pitched in his first appearance, and he even topped that career high today with 7 innings pitched. I believe he had 5 strikeouts. Hicks was doing work on the mound out there, and he found himself in trouble a couple times early and then really settled into this one. His fastball, the way that he can reach back and just hurl one like 100 miles an hour. You saw one of his best fastballs come in his final frame pitching today. The way that he can reach back and get that when he needs it makes him so tough to face in the batter's box. And with all the different weapons he has, the 2-seam, the slider, he's really, 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 really tough to face on the hill out there. And this was a big question mark for the Giants coming into this season was, what's the starting pitching staff going to look like? You know, you have Alex Cobb coming off an injury. Kyle Harrison is young. Is he going to pan out into the guy we think he's going to be? Jordan Hicks is a reliever, and we're going to turn him into a starter. What's that going to look like? You know, the Robbie Ray injury, the Keaton Wynn arm soreness in spring training, the Tristan Beck injury, I mean, that's really scary. His injury was pretty scary. And I mean, this whole pitching staff was a giant question mark, starting pitching staff at least, and the bullpen too, other than really Camilo Doval and Logan Webb. You knew those 2 guys were going to show up, and I think you could assume Kyle Harrison was going to continue to take steps forward in his development, but I don't think anybody pegged Hicks to come in with this type of dominance. I mean, he has made it so that you now have 4 starters that you can really rely on this team right now that are all healthy. I mean, you have Webb, Harrison, Hicks, and of course Blake Snell, the late Snell signing in spring training. You have 4 guys who you know in your rotation are going to give you a good chance to win every single night, which gives, you know, Keaton Wynn right now, he'll have an opportunity, some chances to prove himself before Cobb comes back. There was an injury update on Alex Cobb. If you watch Giants pregame, you saw Alex Pavlovich note that Cobb had a slight setback after he was, you know, getting healthy ahead of schedule. It seemed like he was going to come back pretty soon. And then he had some soreness. He had an MRI. It revealed, you know, a minimal strain, and they shut him down for a couple days. It's not going to delay his comeback for too long, probably sometime in May. So the Giants are going to have 6 quality starting pitchers by sometime in May. And last season, I think they had 2 to 3 quality pitchers for the entire season at most. So this is a big, big win for the San Francisco Giants. Tons of reasons to be excited about this. I see people chiming in the comments. You guys are excited too. I'm stoked for this team. There's so many reasons to be. Jung-Hoo Lee, Jordan Hicks, all these free agent signings, all these new guys in the coaching staff that just change the culture, the pat the bat Burl. I mean, look how much better the Giants are hitting this year. It feels so much better to have real physical, like touchstone humans that have made impacts on this franchise in the past, as opposed to what it's felt like the last couple of years. It's felt so robotic. It feels like there's a human element now in this management room, and that is a big deal. Big deal for the Giants. At least I think. So again, fun one in this one. Giants walk it off in their home opener. 25th season at Oracle Park is now underway, and it's the 142nd opening day for the Giants as an organization. And the Giants always play well at home. 6th most wins at home since 2000 when Oracle Park opened. So, of course, Oracle always provides a big home field advantage, and the Giants needed it today because they really needed a win to get back into the win column in this one, snap that losing streak, get that bad taste of that series sweep in Los Angeles out of your mouth. How about a series sweep of the Padres to start the first homestand of the year? I would love that, and I'm sure you all would too. That's about all the time that we have for you on this one. We're up against it. I do want to make a quick note. Make sure, if you don't already know, tune in next week, Wednesday, after the day game. Paulie McCaffrey. That's right. Paulie Particles McCaffrey is coming on the Locked On Giants postcast. And this is one of the first times that we're gonna get Paulie live anywhere since he departed KMBR. So make sure you tune in for that. You don't want to miss out on Paulie Mac and Giants baseball. That's next week, Wednesday. And later today, you got a Warriors game, Warriors Mavs. We'll come to you live after that one as well here on Locked On Sports Bay Area and on the Locked On Warriors postcast. So make sure you tune in for that as well. That's all the time we got for you today on the Locked On Giants postcast. Thanks for tuning in. A fun one as the Giants win 3-2 walk-off win in the home opener over the San Diego Padres. It just doesn't get better than that. Thanks for joining us on this one. We'll see you next time. Peace.